International affairs expert, also joins us on the show. Pathikrit, thank you for joining us. How do you look at this escalation? Is this likely, to become into, or rather, snowball into something bigger at this point in time? If we look at some of the other countries, in the Middle East, a lot of them have said that they really do not have any interest in what goes on with Iran, with Lebanon, Jordan, or for that matter, even Gaza.
Thank you, Vineet. First and foremost, the Iranian attack on Israel with those missiles was on expected lines, because I think there was considerable amount of pressure on the Iranian regime from the proxies they have created, be it Hezbollah or Houthis, that the proxies have been fighting the war and Iran was sitting idle literally. So it was on expected line, but unlike the kind of attack they did in April this year, where they used mostly drones and loitering munitions and rockets, this time they actually used ballistic missiles and hypersonic missiles. Now, the whole thing is an issue of whether Israel will take it as an acceptable response or it would go ahead and retaliate. It is unlikely that Israel will not retaliate, because if they don't retaliate, then it becomes normalized. That means any time again,
but
Iran would attack.
The concern over here is that the Iron Dome has been breached. Just the way it was breached by Hamas on 7th October last year.
Vinay, absolutely right. First and foremost, the hypersonic missile Fatah 2 that Iran used this time, it can actually glide, maneuver. It works at a very high speed. It can regulate the speed. That's number one. Secondly, even the best of the air defense system is never 100% foolproof. So even if 90% they can actually intercept, the 10% of the rest will fall, which means out of 200 missiles, if 20 had fallen, those 20 are incredibly, damaging. So the casualty levels may have been zero, but it actually created impact in terms of destruction of major infrastructures in Israel. And Israel is a very small country. It may be very technologically advanced, but it's a small country. It doesn't have the strategic depth in terms of geographical spread. So, it must have, targeted very, very critical infrastructures. And I'm sure, given the situation right now, Israel would retaliate. Iran might say that we have given a proportionate response and it stops here. But whether Israel will let it go like this, or whether Israel will go and do something, whether it is a direct strike with the use of F-35s, whether it is an assassination attempt, or whether it is targeting of critical oil infrastructure of Iran, we have to see. But whatever the case might be, it is highly unlikely that the situation will see a thaw right now. If the things will continue to be escalating in a calibrated manner, even if they don't attack Iran, their actions on Hezbollah and Houthis will continue. And invariably, again, a situation will rise where they will assassinate a major leader of Hezbollah, and Iran will retaliate again, this kind of missile attack. So I think to preempt that, I think right now, Iran will see some kind of action from Israel. What happens then? Because my last point, I think, just like Ukraine is being armed by United States, there's a strong possibility that Russia would try to arm and defend Iran against those attacks, because Iran is a very strong ally of Russia. So given the circumstances right now, you might see another theater where Russia and United States actually using proxies to fight a war, as it is in case of Russia and Ukraine war conflict going on. So it's a very volatile situation. It's not a binary.
Let me also bring in Joyita Basu, editor of the Sunday Guardian, into this conversation. Joyita, I hope you can hear me.
Yeah.
Joyita, now you've just returned from Israel as well. Iran is obviously a facilitator of a number of organizations, including Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis as well. The Americans obviously view Iran as a threat with or without Israel in the picture, but now they have attacked Israel. How does this change, the status quo that prevailed not only before October the 7th, 2023, but also post October 7th, 2024?
Well, when you are looking at the situation over there, let's not forget one thing. Iran, when you talk to Israelis and all, what they regard Iran as an octopus, with all those 7-8 legs and all, and they say that we are facing a war it's a 7-front war. Hamas, the Houthis, then you're talking about the Hezbollah, then there are Shias in Iraq, Iran itself, and it's like, they're surrounded. It's a Shia crescent, so they're surrounded from all sides. Of course, Hamas is Sunni, but then the hatred for Israel is so much that Iran has been able to bring Hamas also on board. So this war situation, this proxy war has been going on for a very, very long time. But what has happened in this case is that Iran, in this case, if you look at Iran, Israel did not attack Iran directly. Iran, what Israel did, Israel has cut off that Hamas tentacle, and now it is going after the Hezbollah tentacle and also Houthis. So you see, this is something, it's a huge loss of faith for Iran in the Muslim world, and particularly in the Shia world, because if you're looking at the Arabs, they are very, very anti-Iran, by the way. So they will be very happy if Israel gives Iran a drubbing. So you see, now what they are going to do is that they were expecting some kind of an attack, primarily because, this Hezbollah thing has happened. I was talking to an Iranian, he was with Israeli intelligence. He was actually an Iranian. He's an Iranian exile, now based in Tel Aviv. Now, according to him, what he's saying is, it is like the Ayatollah has been very badly humiliated. In the last attack, Iran has lost a lot. Their Quds force that is there, it has lost the command and control structure that they have. So Iran is also not in a position to basically start a war. They had to do whatever they did. It was an act of bravado. If you look at the kind of damage that they have been able to inflict on Israel, that is near zero. In terms of human casualties, all those 300, 400 missiles that they fired at Israel, how many people died? Only one person, and that also in the West Bank town of Jenin, a Palestinian who had gone from Gaza to that Jenin. He died, okay, because what happens, I think Israel has this incredible capacity of actually mobilizing its 9 million population.
Joyita, I will come back to you at this point in time. Ambassador Daniel Carman, former ambassador of Israel to India, is also